Hi guys, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions. RichTheMan here, and today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be discussing some experiences I've had with doing Tier 4 Basic Arena, why we do it, the costs, and just some general tips and things to look out for at a lower level and you're trying to compete for it, also people that may have not experienced Tier 4 Basic Arena for the first time. So straight off the bat, just to let you know that it costs 10,000 battle chips to enter this arena. Can seem a bit of a high cost, but why we do it is vitally important. Upon entering a team of 3, it's a cost to you of 1,000 gold, which can be seen again as a pretty steep amount of gold, so it's probably best to have plenty of gold in supply. I picked myself a constant streak of 34 and that got me the 1.1 million required to get myself a tier 4 basic. And people again might say, well, that's not too great. How much would you spend? Well, if you get 34, you times it by 1,000, it's 34,000 cost of gold. Not a huge amount when you kind of add it up. If you've got 35,000 gold lying about, then you can do it. But, and this is the big but, before people go, oh, hold him at his word. No, it's all based on the team that you field. And obviously the team that you field, you've got to realise that 5 stars take a huge amount of time in order to, say, recoup their points so they can then re-enter back into the arena. So once they refresh, and it's always important to ask for help on the ask for help button, you then got to wait for them to go in. 5 stars garnish the most points. As you can see here, this is a 4-star team. This is a rank 5 4-star team, and it's garnishing 3,445, obviously upwards of 3,994 times the 3 because we're on the 3 multiplier, and will give us a substantial amount of points, well over 10,000. So that's the thing, you know, you need to have plenty of 5 stars in order for this to be done quickly. You might be asking, well, how long did it take you to get the tier 4 basic? It took me 7 hours in total. And what I mean by 7 hours, I mean in time of kind of grinding. I couldn't do it in one kind of full lot, like say 7 hours straight. It took little chunks, and how I played it was I waited for a lot of my 5 stars to be back or for usage, so that means that I can then get more points, because they are the things that get you the more points. You know, you can get upwards of, like, I've got 6 5-stars, and it was getting me between 60 to 80,000 points. Like, give or take like 1 or 2 mistakes where I lost them, and there was only like two were available. But that's the thing, they get the most points, but they take the longest to recharge and get them back in. Also, that 7 hours was kind of split around. If you join me on a live stream on Monday the 3rd of April 2017, you would have known that I was grinding out that. I did 40 to 50 minutes in that stream. I then did throughout like little bits in a day some of that arena. I then did lots, I've been 2 hours late into Sunday night at the kind of expense of my sleep, which is kind of a bit negative because it does fall on, most of the time it does fall on times when you know, I work. And the same thing with you guys. You got school, you got work, and it can be a little bit disappointing because, you know, you really want to, you know, do this arena because you really want a tier 4 basic. So balancing that time, and it's a bit disappointment again. It's a 48-hour arena, so it only lasts for about 48 hours, so you have to put in your time. So I did find that a little bit of a nuisance, but this is my first time doing it, first time getting that milestone, which is good to see because I need to rank up my champs. So what of my return for my 10,000 battle chips? I did get that back. Obviously, we're at streak 34 at the point of playing this. I've got back in total around about 22,000 battle chips. I know at the moment it's reading up that I have 25,000, but that extra 2,000 came from certain things like Dual Skirmish, because it's on at the moment, and also a couple of other alliance-based events. I know people will probably ask me, how did you do with your streak, and how did you develop your streak? Well, it's hard to kind of put it into a perspective for a easy, intermediate, and say higher rated player. So I'll probably wait for a separate video to kind of explain that a bit further. My method was completely, and to kind of give it any kind of context, was batshit crazy, because I used 330s up to, I think it was hitting the 7th streak. I then went from 7 right up to hitting in 5 stars up until streak 9, and then I switched over to rank 550s and then came down to 440s and stopped. Then I waited for the recharge and then went straight in with my 5 stars my top rated 5 stars. So these are kind of rank 2s, my rank 2 5 stars, and then went down, and then that seemed to kind of get in an infinity streak. It went into 440s, and when I mean down, I mean 440s and then down with the roster, kind of a step up, step down, step up, step down kind of method. It's not a method that I'm going to promote in this video. I'm just giving you an example of what I did. I don't think it's a solid kind of guide for it, so I will do that in a separate video. What are my recommendations for doing tier 4 basic arena? Largely, obviously the motivation is we need to get this tier 4 basic. It's just so important. 1.1 million is not a completely unreachable target. It becomes harder obviously if you're doing this with 3 stars. So I would probably say you're going to have a lot of time in 48 hours to grind this out. And it is advisable that if it appears for whatever reason on a Thursday night or a Friday night, and say you've got the weekend off, or say it's half term, or it's holiday time, it's whatever it is, you will probably find this better to grind out over 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever hours it takes to get it, then do it at a very lower rated level. Higher rated players are not going to find too much of a problem with this. They're going to have the battle chips to be able to invest in it and see it's a kind of an investment to get it. With regards to hitting that streak at an intermediate level, you're really going to have to work on improving and increasing your roster in order to do it in a quick fashion. 7 hours for me of gameplay is not half bad. Obviously, if I wanted to go any further, I would, but it was quite easier than I thought to pick up the tier 4 basic. Just to finalise what champions that I was using: Cyclops, Dormammu and Captain Marvel, Storm, Spider-Man and Black Panther. I was kind of using that. I found them more easier to use. Those are the only 5 stars that I was using. I tried not to drop down to Unawakened and just, you know, rank 1 5 stars, because they're not as powerful as the Awakened and rank 2s. And so therefore I was worried that I may lose them completely and lose the streak. 7, 9 was that, and then I dropped down and went to rank 550s. I didn't use after streak 9. I didn't use the 5 stars of Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and Winter Soldier combination. Didn't use them at all, and concentrated on using Storm, Spider-Man, and Black Panther. But then again, did not use them any further after, say, streak 12, because I didn't think they were going to be as powerful as rank 2s. And then dropped down 550s, 440s, and just used a whole plethora of different champions. And yeah, was able to use 330s at some stage. So it does work, but I don't recommend it, the method I use. But I will cover that for lower rated players in a further video. So all in all, I do recommend doing tier 4 basic if you can, but be prepared that regardless of your level, you will need to grind out over the 48 hours. You may lose some sleep, better for Fridays, and you will get a return on your gold and your battle chips, so don't worry about that. Hopefully this gave people a little bit of experience on what it's like, and thanks. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you want some more Marvel Contest of Champions content, hit that notification on so you see my videos ping up, and as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. And don't forget to follow me on social media. The link is in the description below. Bye bye.